The long-billed dowitcher is a bird that belongs to the sandpiper family. Along with many shorebirds, they look like one another, which make the long-billed dowitcher confusing to identify. In the 1950s, there was the discovery of the long-billed dowitcher. Many years before the discovery, the dowitcher wasn't recognized as its own bird, but by another. Before, the long-billed dowitcher and the short-billed dowitcher were considered one bird until they discovered certain differences between the two and determined that they were actually separate birds. Identifying a long-billed dowitcher can be quite difficult, but some helpful hints are its feathers, which you can see have a light brown and dark brown off and on pattern. The long-billed dowitcher's beak is averaged about 4 to 5 inches, and the short-billed dowitcher is about 2 to 3 inches. The short-billed dowitcher is much darker and appears slimmer, where the long-billed dowitcher is more cotton-balled form and with short legs. They fly different as well because they are built to go different distances, where the long-billed dowitcher travels really far. The long-billed dowitcher's beak is again averaged about 4 to 5 inches and feeds in shallow water or in a muddy flat area. In the San Diego area, they are specifically seen in areas such as the OB River mouth. It blindly pokes the sand or mud in a sewing machine motion to eat and search for its foods in the dirt. The purpose is to make these tiny holes in the sand, then collect what it had found in each hole to eat. Their diet is usually crustaceans, marine worms, mollusks, and on occasion can be found eating leaf fragments, but is not common. During foraging, the long-billed dowitcher has an advantage of finding food more quickly because of its eating motion, but also because its beak can carry sensitive nerve endings that can help them sense and detect food in the eating holes. Between July and September, a large majority of the dowitchers will fly south. The majority of long-billed dowitchers travel in flocks and go south for breeding, laying eggs, feeding, and teaching the young how to manage on their own. Their migration can spread from Canada all the way down to Mexico. The temperature on the west coast helps these birds a lot, but you can see them in cold areas as well. These birds adapt pretty well and can live in a lot of different environments. And just this past year, during the last migration trip, they traveled all the way to Serbia and are expected to travel there again. Usually the long-billed dowitcher will start a nest on the ground near the water. The nests are deep and made of marsh grass or moss. They build their nests near the water because the bottom of the nest need to be damp for the parents to incubate 4 to 6 eggs, which usually take about 22 days to hatch. After their eggs have hatched, both parents will stick around to take care of the young. After a couple of days, the mother will abandon the family out in the marsh and will never come back. The father stays and walks his little chicks into adulthood until they can take care of themselves. The long-billed dowitcher is considered extremely sensitive because any change in water levels or temperature, they will struggle to lay their eggs, causing them to constantly travel. A comfortable laying ground is at the San Diego River. As much as they try to stay in the flock, the population is too large to stay together. So often you will find that these birds die of malnutrition because they get poor resources from being away from the flock. In the future, hopefully there can be a lot more safe places for their nests, and that alone will completely help the growth of the long-billed dowitcher population.